Hello, good morning to everyone. Today we are discussing on simplex method. In this simplex method, the problem is given here is the objective function is maximize z equals 3x1 plus 2x2 and subject to the constraints are given x1 plus x2 is less than or equal to 4 and another constraint is x1 minus x2 is less than or equal to 2. And the last one is given the statement x1 and x2 both these values are having a number which is greater than or equal to 0. So for this particular problem, how to approach a simplex method means the given problem you need to reformulate into this particular format. So we need to introduce here two slack variables, that is s1 and s2 in the objective function having the coefficients zeros. Why only two slack variables means the given subject to the constraints containing two equations. This is the first equation. For this equation one slack variable, for this another equation another slack variable. So there are two equation means two slack variables. So the given equation we need to reformulate like this. So the subject to the STC equation, the subject to the constraints will be addressed as STC, that has been reformulated as x1 plus x2. So instead of lesser than or equal to sign, we have introduced a slack variable plus s1 equals 4 and another STC equation is x1 minus x2 plus s2 equals 2. The total number of variables are x1, x2, s1, s2, all of them are greater than or equal to 0. Then what we need to do it here is we need to formulate this standard table containing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns. This is for this particular column 8 column. If the number of variables increases, because here we are observing x1 and x2. If it is instead of x1 and x2, if it is x3 means one more column will going to come here. And if it is one more STC equation means one more S3 will going to come here, means one more additional column will going to come. So in the first, that is, this is the basic variables. What are the basic variables that you have chosen here under this? S1 and S2. S1 with respect to the first equation, S2 with respect to the second equation. This is the standard format. CB0 means the objective function of their cost values. Then x1, x2, s1, s2, which are there here. These values you need to write it here. Then followed by RHS, then ratio. So what is the outcome of the C0 means x1 is having a value 3, x2 is having a value 2, s1 is having a value 0, s2 is having a value 0. Those have been written at the top of this x1, x2, s1, s2. So then this whatever you are observing, this one, this is with respect to the first STC equation. So the first STC equation means this is your first STC equation, so which have been reformulated based on this particular statement. This is the reformulated STC equation. By looking this one, we need to write this particular statement. So whatever they are here we are observing here, only their coefficients have been written here. X1 coefficient is 1, x2 coefficient is 1, s1 is having coefficient 1, s2 is not there, so that means its value is 0. So on the right hand side we have 4, so the means RHS or the constant value is 4. So what is this value means? CB0 value. Initially we are observing here S1 is having a CB0 value 0, S2 is having a CB0 value as 0. Then similarly for the second statement, their values 1 minus 1, then S1 is not present means its value is 0, S2 is value is 1, RHS value is 2. Then we have completed this particular statement. Up to RHS we have completed. Then what we need to do, it means we need to calculate the Z equation. How to calculate Z equation means it's a summation of CB0 into xi values. First you need to calculate. Summation means algebraic sum of CB0 into x values, means you need to multiply 0 into 1, that results, and you need to multiply 0 into 1. 0 into 1 means this value, so answer is going to become 0. 0 into 1 means this value, the answer is going to become 0. If you add them means once again the answer is 0. that result should be subtracted at the top of the C0 value. So the answer is going to become minus 3. You need to carry out for the rest of these particular cases. So hence we have find out the Z equation. So similarly, if you are observing for this statement 0 into 1, 0 into minus 1, the answer is 0, 0. That resultant value should be minus or subtracted at the top of the row. That value results in minus 2. Once the Z equation has been found out, the maximum values of the highest or the maximum value of the negative values of the Z that we need to consider. So we are observing here minus 3, minus 2, 0, 0. The highest negative value is minus 3. That particular column should be encircled in the box like this. After that we need to calculate the ratio. What is the ratio means? RHS divided by this whatever that is present in the box. It is 4 by 1. So similarly RHS whatever that is present in the box 2 by 1. So out of these two, whichever is the smallest value, that should be considered for another box. The smallest value between 4 and 2 is the 2 value that should be encircled in the box. Then we are observing here we are making a column box and we are also making a row box. Both of them are intersecting at exactly this particular place. This should be called as a key element and this should be considered for the next of the next for the successive operations. That means this is whatever you are observing, this is one set of table, then this is another set of table, then this is another set of table. You need to calculate like you need to proceed like this until all your Z values becomes positive, or else if you don't have any ratio, if the ratio does not possible to calculate, then you need to stop. That means here how to write down these values means, first the key element is present in S2, that S2 now has to be replaced by x1. So wherever S2 is there, we need to write now first x1. We have written x1. Then this key element, that is this 1, that key element is to be divided by this entire row up to here, not this 0, only up to here we need to divide. So 1 by 1, 1, minus 1 by 1, 0 by 1, 1 by 1, 2 by 1. That values have been written. What is this means? This is once again the cost objective function which are written here. X1 cost objective function is 3, that has been written here 3. Then how to write the new values of S1? New values of S1 means, so this I told this has been your pivot element. This has been your pivot element. What is this one we are observing? That has been the pivot element that we have written, that is this value. Exactly above this we are going to have an identity matrix format. That means if it is 1 means this has to become 0. That means this value has to become 0. This value means this is corresponding to R3 and this is corresponding to R4. We need to carry out the row operation. So they have been carrying out here R3 minus R4. R3 minus R4 means 1 minus 1 means 0. 1 minus of minus 1 means 2. 1 minus 0 means 1. 0 minus 1 means minus 1. 4 minus 2 means 2. Once again S1 quotient is present 0. That 0 has been written here. So that 0 have been written here. So then once you have formulated this particular table, once this particular table is ready, once again you need to carry out for the Z equation. How to calculate the Z equation? Summation of CB0 into x1. CB0 into x1 means 0 into 0, 3 into 1. This value results in 0, this value results in 3. So if you add them, it will going to become 0 plus 3 means 3. 3 minus the top of this value. Top of this value means 3. 3 minus 3 means 0. Similarly here, we need to multiply this CB0 into x value, that is if you multiply it will going to become 0, if you multiply this will going to become minus 3, if you add that result it will going to become minus 3. That minus 3 should be subtracted at the top of this value, that will going to become minus 3 minus 2 means minus 5. That we have written here. Similarly we need to carry out for all these particular Z equations. So once you have calculated the Z equation, So you are observing here we have only one negative value that should be encircled in the box. Then how to calculate this ratio means RHS value is 2 divided by the box value is 2, 2 by 2 means 1. The next RHS value is 2 divided by this box value is negative. If the box value comes negative here, there is no need to calculate this particular thing. Just replace this one as, just keep it as negative. Don't write anything here, just keep it as negative. Then when you are comparing here, we have only one value. That means this should be has to be made in the box. Then the row and the column has been intersecting at this particular place. This is now our pivot element. That means in the next table, now our S1 has to be replaced by X2. So for that reason X2 has been written. Then how to write this entire statement means X2 coefficient value is 2. That has been written here 2. The remaining should be divided by this pivot element. What is this pivot element or the pivot key element? The pivot key element is 2. That 2 should be divided. That means 0 by 2 means 0. 2 by 2 means 1. 1 by 2 means 1 by 2. Minus 1 by 2 means this one. Then 2 by 2 means 1. That means the entire row, this entire row should be divided by this pivot element. So once you have obtained this new row, we need to obtain this x1 values. How to calculate this x1 value means x1 its coefficient value is 3. That should be written here. Then how to get these remaining values means you need to carry out the row operations. So here we have the row that is R6 and R7. So what we are going to do is we are going to divide this R6 by 2 and then we are going to add with respect to R7. So when you divide by 2 means 0 by 2 means 0 only. If you add with respect to R7 means answer is going to become 1 only. That means it is retained as an identity matrix. Earlier once it has become identity matrix, it will remain as identity matrix. Then what about this one? If you divide by 2 means it is going to become 1. If you add this one, this means it is going to become 0. This is going to become an identity matrix. Then here once again if you divide it by 2 means 1 by 2. If you add with respect to this means this is going to become 1 by 2. Minus 1 by 2 plus 1 plus 1 by 2. Then divide by 2 means it is going to become 1. 1 plus 2 means 3. Then once again calculate this Z equation. Now if you are calculating Z equation, all the Z values are positive. Since all the Z values have become positive, then the next question comes here is you need to calculate the Z value. So the Z value is going to become 11. How to get that Z value means we need to obtain this statement maximize Z equals 3x1 plus 2x2, where we need to substitute x1 and x2. Our x1 value now become 3 and x2 value is going to become 1. This values you need to substitute here to get the Z value as 11. When you need to consider this one means when all the Z equation, what are the elements that has been present in the Z table, if all of them are positive, then obviously this Z is going to become positive. This is a particular statement that you need to remember when you are approaching for a simplex method problem. So